We've got some tips that I want to go over with you,
Sure.
doctor, and we can break it down because I think these are pretty important for any man out there and maybe a wife who's saying, you need to do this.
Sure.
Number one, get screened.
Absolutely.
What are we talking about there?
Well, screening isn't what it used to be. We used to think that a physical examination was coming to the doctor and disrobing and being checked from top to bottom, but getting screened is really more about numbers. It's, again, knowing your BMI, knowing your blood pressure, knowing your cholesterol. Those are the screening tests that we're referring to.
And let's break down real quickly BMI in case someone doesn't
So
know.
BMI, I'm sorry, is body mass index. So
Perfect.
it is a measurement of your height versus your weight, and that is a calculated number, and that number is something that we can associate to cardiovascular risk, and it's how we determine what is a healthy weight, what is an overweight weight, and what is an obese weight, and the risks that come with that, and that's a very important number for you to focus on.
Now the next one, which we can bring up again, is very clear. Do not smoke. So
Correct.
that's number two.
Yes.
Even if you're doing it, you should quit.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, this is goes without saying. This is something that, thank God, has been decreasing, especially in this country, over the last few decades. We're seeing less and less of smokers, and even people who are recognizing. I very rarely nowadays do I have a patient that is a smoker and doesn't recognize that it's a problem. Before, you would have a different situation.
Let's tackle the next three, which I think we can combine: exercise, eat a healthy diet, and maintain a healthy weight. All very important, doctor.
Sure, and even the go easy on the alcohol, that may make it more difficult for you to exercise and maintain a healthy weight. So all of those are very important. Exercise, we have to be a little bit careful, especially with men. I always like to make sure that we stress to men, don't try to go back to the gym at 45 and try to do what you used to do at 18. That's obviously not a good idea. You want to try to start low and go slow, as I've said before. We want to try to make sure that you adapt your exercise to some fun activity, things that you like to do, things that maybe you like to do with your family. That's always a good starting point. Also, doing things that are fun to you. If you put a patient who hasn't been in the gym or hasn't done a lot of exercise to now start doing a very high intensity class, that tends to bring upon injuries, and that we have to be very careful with. And it also gives negative reinforcement, which you don't really want. You want it to be positively reinforced, and you want them to have fun and go do it again.